good here, so like incredibly good, the best hotel of all of them. So I'm happy to kind of have gotten lucky in that regard. So this deck is kind of, so there's, I tweeted like during the Pro Tour testing process, like a picture of me going 4-0 and dropping from the league. I did that several times in the testing process. I just tweeted it one time. But that specific time was with this deck, and it was also at least one other time I 4-0 dropped to the deck. Maybe it was another, like an additional time after that. I kind of can't remember exactly. But this is a deck we played a lot on the channel. This is the Semblance Anvil Mystic Forge combo deck. We played it with the One Ring. We were playing, it was basically the exact same list. We were playing still, what is the name of the card? The 2-mana artifact, ETB draw a card. When it dies, draw a card. I'm sure someone in chat will say what it is. But I cut that card for the Sylvan Scryings, and I'm up to the full playset of Chromatic Spheres, Chromatic Stars again. And this build has been like the best by a lot. I think like significantly the best version of this deck I ever had. And so I kept the Sylvan Scrying tech a little bit secret. I continued to play test it a lot off stream. I had some other people working with me on the deck, on the team, of course. It was doing really well in our initial testing, and we were kind of crushing with the deck. And then Scam got really, really popular. And Scam is very good against all the Tron variants, being a Dauthi Voidwalker, Blood Moon, Scam, Fury deck, but it's like especially good against this version where the Dauthi Voidwalker as Graveyard Hate is like a little extra relevant, and it's a bit easier for them to pick apart your combo. That being said, I think this deck is like actually a lot better than Tron against a lot of the decks in the format. Like basically, it's like it's a lot faster, it's a lot more proactive, its curve is lower, and it just gets to do so many things so well. And specifically this version with the Scryings, you just get to mulligan very aggressively for turn 3 Tron, just like the other Tron variant, and you have a lot of like turn 3 kills with the deck, where you're going off with your Mystic Forge Anvil plan, or your grinding station killing, or maybe a little bit more often you turn 3 Tron, slam a ring, and then like you can either chain rings together, or you can win the turn after you play the ring a lot of time. Yeah, I kind of wish it was the deck I had registered instead, or like one of the ones I wish I had registered instead. Thank you, Topaz. Thank you. Well, nice start to the league. Just an easy, breezy, cheesy turn 3 Tron on the play with all the payoffs you could ever want. We'll probably keep the Expedition map to pitch to the Semblance Anvil here. Why did I skip scales for the PT? Well, I've done now 2 of these hotel room streams. Hey, Cherry, thanks for the raid. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you. And a lot of people have asked, Spike, why didn't you play this deck or that deck? But, you only get to register one deck at these events. And I don't think I registered the right one. Yeah, let's just... but it was a hard decision, and one thing that was like exceptionally difficult was like my testing team was just like not that interested in a lot of the, sorry, let me adjust this a little bit, was just not that interested in a lot of these like off the meta decks that I tend to like to gravitate towards, and I've played a lot of, and the team really liked Yawgmoth. Was I expecting that much Tron? There was a little bit more Tron than we expected, but I think we had Tron as like the 4th or 5th most popular deck, and it ended up being like the 3rd most popular deck. Do you have this deck list somewhere? If you type !deck, it should pop up. Am I watching Evo? Rooting for anyone? Well, I'm not watching, but I'm rooting for Hitachi, of course, if Hitachi is playing, which I think he is. If we consider Sanctum of Ugin, Metalwork, Colossus, Sanctum tutors Myr Retriever, Colossus is an alternate win con. I run a Chromus more. I mean, that seems like, kind of classic Twitch chatter. Let's like raise the mana curve by 1 million to play like the super sweet, but like incredibly fragile, and again, much higher mana curve. Like, Metalwork Colossus in this deck is going to cost a lot of mana to just be like kind of a big vanilla creature too. Sometimes you need a big vanilla creature, maybe. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep a green mana floating. Gab said on stream the team didn't test too much of the Tron matchups. Do you agree too? Yeah. Like it was all kind of very last minute. Our like Tron testing phase. Probably gonna mill myself with this. Oh, I can't mill myself because I have pro everything actually. It was all very last minute. Yeah. And let's see. We had a good amount of like data from people playing against Tron, but not a lot playing with Tron. And yeah, it would have been definitely nice to have tested a bit more. It was kind of like the night before we started really going crazy trying to figure out the Tron deck. Wish we had started like a day or two sooner. Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna have a turn 3 kill here, but I do think that we're very likely to win. Like we have another ring in our hand, we have protection from everything. My opponent hasn't done anything yet. Karn. Right? If they have and what's cool about this kind of spot is like even if my opponent has like their best possible card, Boseiju, it just doesn't matter that much. We have a ring in play, we have an anvil in play, we're just doing fine. 131202 or 2020. Thank you for the subscription. Sorry if I missed any subscribers. Again, I just using my phone as my second monitor today. Any thoughts on Monday? Assuming you're talking about the ban list stuff. So I always kind of hope that like it's an exciting shakeup because it's like always something for someone who just plays as much like Magic as I do and as much Modern as I do. I'm always like really happy when anything changes. Not that it's like something I'm actively advocating for. I'm like as far as like ban list stuff goes and like what should be like, banned or unbanned or whatever. Who cares? I'm like relatively agnostic at the moment. I don't really. The only thing I feel very strongly on is that like Bridge from Below never should have been banned in the first place, and like can we just like freaking unban Bridge from Below? But also not a hill I'm trying to die on. Sorry, kind of a tangent, I guess. I think I'm just going to. I can still bring their creativities, but I guess if I just play another ring, that is about as good, huh? I could get explosives going to kill their Goblin Shaman, and then also just play another ring. Definitely have found that this deck just like loves to chain rings. I think that seems fine. Let's do that. Leveler will be pretty good here too. Yeah, we could cast it for 6. Although the problem is their Archon triggers would resolve. Does it seem like Jegantha had a good matchup for Scam? No. So like the thing that was so weird about like us choosing Yogg and like I don't know. It's okay. Let's go for Forge now. What's so weird about like the team choosing to play Yawgmoth was that like we knew it like wasn't good against Scam. Our version was like closer to 50-50 against Scam in our internal testing. At the actual PT, it ended up being like much worse than 50-50 for us, unfortunately. But we just kind of went into it like generally like having a good amount of experience with the deck. It was a deck that like we had been high on for a long period of time. We've been testing a lot of it. It got to play kind of all the broken Lord of the Rings cards, which was a big selling point for me and a lot of other people that chose to play the Yawgmoth deck. Reed was like doing a very good job piloting it and like was, I think, really putting on a masterclass, kind of showing like what like how you were supposed to play it in the current metagame, and we thought that gave us a little bit of an edge, learning like his kind of strategies. We thought our sideboard plan was really good, but ultimately I think we kind of like outsmarted ourselves with the pick. But the people on the team that didn't pick Yawgmoth all did pretty well. Dr. Blondie with the 27 months, thank you. Yeah, but it was kind of a complicated testing process. It was also like Barcelona was crazy. It was like 14 hours nonstop every day, just testing like crazy. Just wake up, Magic 14 hours, barely take any break, and then go to sleep and do it again. And it's like there's no AC and it's hot. It was just a crazy time. And now I'm happy getting to vacation a little bit and just really slam on the brakes. We just got back from London. We did one stream over in London, which was nice. We hung out with Harry MTG all 3 days. It was awesome. Harry was like a great guide, and it was really cool to get to.
We love Harry.
Yeah, we love Harry. Harry's the best. We've been in 3 countries today. We woke up in London, and then got here to Italy, and then we are our hotel. Like we can see the Vatican from our hotel. It's like right across the street. So I don't know. Maybe it doesn't exactly count, but technically in 3 countries today. I think the tuning weather decks to beat Scam, Dismember, Giver, Hit, Runes, Yogs. Well, yeah, that was also something too. Was like our Tron list also was like 2 main Dismember, 2 side Dismember. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, let's go ahead and mill ourselves to clear off the top of our library. I think we'll just Retriever Star. I guess I could just grab a ring also. Like, how do I ever lose if I grab a ring? This was something I was really liking about the deck in testing. Just like Myr Retriever back the ring is like just kind of so crazy in these spots where like even if you brick, you just slam another ring and then you can never lose. Yeah, I agree. There's just like, I think there's like a degree of us kind of underestimating that like the rest of the field would find the Tron deck too, because like Tron, like I don't know, it was like also like Tron was like so we had 2 sheets. We had like a sheet of like internal data and external data. Internal data of us testing against each other, and external data testing against the rest of the field. And in both of those sheets, Tron was like doing very, very good, but it was also like a relatively small sample size compared to everything else. It was just I don't know. It was tough. I really think if we had like a couple more days, I would not have played Yawgmoth, and I think my tournament would have gone better, but okay, I'm milling them out here. But that's okay. Sometimes your tournaments go bad. Okay, that was game 1. I'm going to bring in the Gemstone Caverns number 3. I'm going to cut the Blast Zone. I think that's going to be it. This build is definitely like relatively low on the sideboard plans. We do have to kind of think a little bit about sometimes bringing some of these in. Overall, this is a matchup that I like a lot and I'm pretty comfortable in. This was a deck I was also kind of considering a bit more seriously when we were thinking creativity was going to be more popular. Obviously, like before Lord of the Rings, we were of the opinion creativity would maybe be the most popular deck at the tournament, and you know that dynamic changed pretty quickly. But good creativity matchup. Non-cohesive. Thank you for the tier 1. I hope I didn't miss any subscriptions. Dr. Blondie, is it fair to ask what you played instead? Yeah, I'm not sure. This is one deck there's a few decks I wish I had played instead of Yawgmoth, but I don't know for sure what deck I would have played instead. This is one deck I would have liked to have played instead of Yawgmoth. I liked Seth's Scam list a lot with no Ragavans. I think it was like appreciably better in the mirror, and then also like it was like a little bit better against Omnath and Yawgmoth, but a little bit worse against Tron. It's not a defined Tron matchup. I like Seth's Scam list a lot. I was actually very close to playing that. That was like kind of the last thing I pivoted off of onto Yawgmoth. Wisdom to the tier 1, thank you. The absolute mad lad that went 8-2 Merfolk only gets special limited to play against them. I sat against them like for a round or 2. Merfolk is a good deck, and it basically always does better at tournaments than people expect it to. And then they're like, "Wow, how did Merfolk do well?" It's like, well, it just kind of always does, I guess. There's a personal tension, like when I play a team deck, when I play something true to work. Can you speak to that? If there's any? Yeah, there was definitely that tension. I spoke about this a little bit the last time I did a hotel stream. We can keep this on 6, I think. Back second power plant. I talked about this though. I really did not want to kind of waste the privilege and the resources that are Team Channel Fireball. Being on a team with Reduke and Deceive and just a team of like fucking crushers. I didn't want to be like this arrogant like format specialist that just like, well, I know that y'all are all like fucking goats, but I'm just gonna play my pet deck instead. I really wanted to like learn and like work with the team and kind of come to like a cohesive team decision. And so it kind of came down to the wire where like I like kind of knew that Yawgmoth was not going to be. Ooh, Nice. Was not going to be like this well-positioned deck, but it was the deck that the team was. So I guess I should probably get Karn, so if they go creativity next turn, I can just like grab a bridge. Can just kind of get any tool I need next turn, I guess. You know, I wanted to be with the team. The team was mostly going with Yawgmoth. It was at the point where like I knew Yawgmoth wasn't that well positioned, but I really liked the list we had, and I liked our plan with it. So I kind of just thought, you know, maybe it would be fine. And that was also the attitude that the rest of the team had, but it ended up not being fine. Although Jim, you know, we had 5 Yawgmoth players. Jim and I were the only 2 that day 2'd with Yawgmoth, but Jim actually had a pretty good day 2, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I think now I'm just gonna get a ring. Maybe I should have like cracked a Chromatic Sphere first. Could also get a Leveler. A lot of options. Coating actually could also be good, where I'm just coding on the upkeep. This is turned off. They can't cast creativity. Then the problem is I'm not really going to want to use the coding next turn. I'm going to want to minus my Karn. Could just get explosives. Yeah, let's just get explosives and play explosives on 0 and pass. We like kind of don't use our mana for the stars super well. That's fine. We have 10 mana next turn. What's my impression of Europe compared to the US? I've really liked Europe so far. I've never been here before. Every country kind of has its own like quirks and stuff, but it's I have loved Barcelona and I've loved London, and so far I've loved Italy too. We only have just gotten here, but it's been just already like really cool. And it's nice too. It's hard to like ever like have a bad time when you're like hanging out with Esther and like some of your Magic friends and stuff, and it's just like it's hard to ever like come away from these kind of experiences like I didn't care for it, you know. That was kind of always going to be the outcome. Okay, I think we just get a ring here. Could also just Cityscape level. Can I Cityscape level with explosives up? I can't, so let's just get a ring. And do I also want to cast Scrying? I think it's probably better in these kind of spots to save the Scrying, to shuffle when you have Mystic Forge going. Here I'll probably just not crack the star, pass, keep up the explosive still. Stonebrain, yeah, people go for Stonebrain so aggressively in these spots, but it's like why would I get Stonebrain? I have explosives in play that's already stopping a creativity. One ring stops the Archon stuff. It's like I need to draw some cards. I need to like win the game. Any cultural shock? I mean, like London is kind of like the silliest place I've ever been in my entire life. It's like everything is like named like the funniest thing you could possibly imagine, and yeah, and I don't know, and like all the like colloquialisms are so funny in England, but I don't know, it's just a bunch of like, you know, normal people, of course.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I like, despite London being like, you know, again, an incredibly silly place, it was we did really like it. Deadpool, the Twitch Prime, thank you. And we also like, okay, for London, like it was like, it's like rainy and like kind of cold, but I was like so happy to be in like the kind of cold rain. It was just like a very nice break from like Barcelona and Texas weather. We were like just so happy to be in like the shitty rainy London weather. It was awesome.
It was like perfect.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for Twitch Prime. You mentioned before 4 colorless with Lord Revealed. Any hope of seeing that list? Yeah, I think that there's a good chance I end up playing that deck in a challenge sometime soon. I don't know, like if this is going to be a stream deck. It will be, obvious, because I'm not doing like a lot of brewing right now. I'm traveling and stuff. Could be a deck that I play on stream like one of these hotel days. But this was a deck that I was also like very close to registering. It was doing very well in our internal testing. Ended up wanting to play less leyline bindings, and I think like me and Gab both agreed that Nissa was like better than Fable, but like the first Fable was better than like the fourth Nissa. Nissa was doing so good, and like one of my biggest complaints about the Omnath deck before was that you couldn't play Force of Negation, and you didn't have and like you had some like tendency to flood out, and I feel like Lore and Revealed like really solves both of those things. And so I was pretty excited with that deck, and it was one that like was doing really well basically like our whole testing process, and then we just kind of didn't play it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab. Maybe I just need some beef here. Yeah.
Oh, and then also in
We have. Sorry.
in the Tower of London, their Yeoman Wanderers are called Beef Eaters.
Yeah. The Tower of London was really cool.
Beef Eaters.
The average win rate in games where the Stonebringer gets activated is likely far below 50% for the Stonebringer player. Yeah, I agree. 4-color ultimately didn't that well. The control version did okay. The Omnath one did not. Yeah, that is true. Okay, so they've bounced my explosives, and now they are.
Those little cannons.
Yeah. Gonna creativity. Oh no. Okay, we just win then. Nice. Love to win. Have I seen Ligoria's Vengeance scam deck? I mean, I've played Ligoria's Vengeance like persist stuff, or sorry, persist scam. I don't think I've played Goria's scam. Okay, well, this matchup is like really, really good, and I know this is like definitely an example of the matchup where you kind of get to take all the time in the world, and these always feel really easy to win. +1 Nissa, on like a very different sideboard, but it was all a bit weird. Okay, so we're on the draw with a Chromatic Star in the blind. I will definitely keep this hand. I think I'll pitch the Myr Retriever. This is maybe my philosophy is mostly just mulligan to Tron, but the fact that this hand can like turn 3 ring is probably good enough for me to keep. Thoughts on Lore and Revealed? I like that card a lot. There was like definitely a little bit during the PT testing process that I thought I would like for sure play a Lore and Revealed deck. I think I'm gonna crack the Sphere here. If I could obviously just like find a Tron piece and then Stirrings into the other one. Although not finding, we did find either piece, but we kind of 4-drop flooded. Hello.
Can they see me?
I don't think so. No, it's just the tapping.
Oh.
Yeah. B Rocco with the tier 1 for 2 years. Thank you. 2 years. Thoughts on Ugin? We tested Ugin. I'm not very impressed by Ugin in this deck. It has its moments for sure, but I'm kind of off that card. The Golgari Coffers deck, yeah, that deck is very cool. Okay, so we can block the Ragavan, but we don't get the death trigger because of the Dothi Voidwalker. Oh, they said they can't see you in the mirror sometimes.
Oh, well, that's when I was walking.
Yeah.
Not in this position.
Go a little bit
on the bed.
For your privacy.
Who says I want privacy?
Not you, probably. Okay, so they can cast Karn, which probably just kind of ends the game. Maybe not. Like a second Karn could Cityscape Leveler. Knowing what you know now, what deck would I pick to play for the PT? We're chatting about that. I'm not 100% sure. This deck would this is one of like the 3 or 4 decks I maybe would have liked to have played instead of the deck I did play. Yeah, I'm not in the UK anymore. We're in Rome now, actually.
In Rome? When in Rome?
Would Burn be high in consideration? Yeah, I mean, Burn had super high like win rate for us in testing, and it's definitely like a deck that I think would have been a good choice. I had a friend from Texas who went 5-0 day 1 with Burn. I'm not sure how he did day 2. Yeah, there's a lot of good choices, and Yawgmoth was unfortunately not one of them. But again, we've kind of talked about the decision points that led up to it. Ensnaring Bridge is very good against these decks game 1, although when they have a Karn, they can sometimes animate your bridge and kill it. What did I play and how it worked out? Yeah, you could find, I did a recap video on the YouTube talking about what I played, how it worked out. I played Reed's Yawgmoth list. I did day 2, I made min cash, but then my day 2 was like the worst single day of any tournament I've ever had. Okay, this is a very good draw. So, kind of a mixed bag, governor. What are we doing this turn? Ring seems interesting. So if I go ring, they can't discard me. They get to make a treasure, but not much else happens. The next turn I have 8 mana, which is not enough to Karn Leveler or anything. I mean, I can go Karn get Leveler this turn. And then my Karn only dies if they send both at my Karn, which is kind of fine. Could be just better to get Ensnaring Bridge, or go like ring this turn, then Karn Bridge next turn, just to make sure that I resolve it. I think I would take that line if my opponent didn't already have their own Karn, because the bridge is like way better when they don't have Karn in play. But since they have Karn, they can just animate my bridge and kill it. To know with the 40 months, I can thank you. Squeeze with the 45. We did not bring Athena and Lucy. Athena is watching Lucy, and Lucy is watching Athena. We poured a giant hill of dog food. We have a friend and a sister who are kind of taking shifts watching them. MTG name with the 14 months, I can thank you. What was it like drafting in a hyper-competitive environment? Less stressful than drafting with Kai and Reed at our Airbnb, probably. I don't know. It was fine. I've drafted at PTs before, and I also like very recently like top 8 drafted at a PTQ, and so like I didn't feel like inexperienced with it or anything, and it was it's always kind of a fun process. When I'm back in the States, a week from today, we fly back home. So you can expect probably like one more stream. Well, I can still unearth the Leveler. Oh, I can, right? Yeah, there's no Voidwalker. Yeah.
Either one of those. But it's usually on
not 3. Yeah, it's been nice to do them on like these kind of like
the
travel days, because we're like really tired, and we'll like go out for lunch and we'll see like a thing, and then we just want to rest. Like that's what we did today. We woke up at like 2:30 a.m. Feels like a lifetime ago already. I could attack the Karn, and then I could kill something else. I think that kind of makes sense. I think killing either the Ragavan or the Fable sounds pretty nice here. Killing the Ragavan is nice, so they couldn't hit a Karn off the Ragavan, but I only have 2 Karns left in the deck. It's not very likely, but it obviously could happen. I could also kill the Grief, just to keep my life total higher. Let's kill the Grief. I mostly would be interested in killing Fable so that they couldn't... I guess I have to kill Grief if I attack Karn anyways, because they just block, but... I don't want them to have Fable plus Grief going. It's nice. It's nice on like days like this. Just we woke up at 2 a.m. It took us like 4 or 5 hours to like get to our plane, fly to Rome, get to our hotel. Then we took a nap. Then we went to lunch. Then we walked around the Vatican a little bit, which is like just across the street from our hotel.
We didn't go inside because there's a long.
Yeah, there's a long line. I think we're gonna wake up like very early tomorrow, and like I don't know what time they open, but like just try to be there early and beat the lines, and then we'll do like I think we'll do the Coliseum tomorrow, and then I'm sorry, Italians. The Pantheon is here, and the Parthenon is in Greece. I may have it backwards, but whichever one is here, we may see tomorrow, or we may see the day after. I think those are our main things, and Esther just wants to eat.
Yeah, I want to eat. But there's also the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. Yeah. How was the Europe vacation? We're in it right now. I'm currently in Rome. I'm across the street from the Vatican, but it's kind of like a downtime day a little bit. Oh, they drew grief. Although my hand is pretty good, but the problem is they have reflection plus grief going. This would be a pretty exciting game to win, to be honest. After turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Voidwalker, they steal my Karn, and there's my ring. I guess I want to leave my green man up. Yeah, and like all of a sudden we're just ahead, I think. Let's go ahead and crack this. I have not played my land, so I get to play Karn. If I play this Karn though, they get to kill it. But if I don't play it, then they get to grief it, which is probably kind of a wash. But they can also just grief anything I get, right? So maybe I want to just like Karn Needle Reflection. That seems like an okay line. A little bit of a risk of just like completely bricking, but it's also true that they're just gonna be able to like interact with my Karn plan basically no matter what else I do. Oh, I can also get back Cityscape Leveler. That's kind of an interesting thought, because if they discard it, I still get to unearth it. No, I'll just Needle. I think I just don't want to deal with the headache of the reflection here. Yeah, they're grief on my neck. I know I currently have protection, but I won't on my turn, y'all. On my draw step specifically. That was an incredibly bad top deck for me. They've drawn 2 really, really relevant cards in a row. But despite all this, like I don't know, I think this build of this deck is very good. It was so promising in testing. I kind of had a cold streak after having like initially a really big hot streak, but it was definitely crushing at first, and just like playing it again for these 2 games, like just playing through all this stuff. I kind of wish that this had been the deck I played, but things always are like so much clearer in hindsight, of course.
Is this your secret deck?
Yeah, this was my secret deck. This was a deck that I had. I had a. I don't think I want to cast this.
Does it have a name?
I had 4 Ode a couple times. It does have a name. It's Anvil Tron. Is it you?
Yeah, those are birds out there.
Is it birds?
Yeah, they're going. There were ravens in the Tower of London, and it was pretty funny.
So maybe I'm just supposed to mill.
I'm just always imitating the birds.
Yeah.
Life imitates life.
Maybe bad to play this here. I think I could have milled a bit sooner. Hitting a Semblance Anvil is awesome though. This is going to be a great way to just try to win this turn, or like find another ring, which is kind of like just the motto of the deck: win or find another ring. I have to note that with the Dothy Voidwalker in play, I can't draw a card off these Chromatic Stars, but I can mill myself to like reset the top of my library, which is about as good. Could also start to just like YOLO mill them a little bit. I think we're a little far away from that. So I milled over a Karn just now. Obviously, we would be winning the game right now if it wasn't for this top deck Dothy Voidwalker. So we're not going to be able to imprint anything here. So I think we can just, oh, immediately punished, but whatever. I'm just going to sack it to reset the top of my library, make sure it can be bad if I mill the wrong cards here, but I just mill a couple of kind of irrelevant cards. How many rings do I have left in the deck? I have one in my graveyard, I have one in play, and I have 2 Karns. Oh, I guess I can't Karn for ring, huh? Yeah, we're maybe just have to find the last ring. Oh, and we just milled it, so guess we lose, huh? Tough game for sure. Tough game for sure. Like if they top deck almost, I guess Blood Moon would have also been pretty bad for me, but them top decking like the Grief into the Voidwalker was pretty tough. And then we hit a big glump here. Okay, let's go to game 2. Tough stuff. So I'm going to bring in the second Boseiju over the second Caverns on the play. Then on the draw, I think you usually cut the Blast Zone. Just an extra answer to Blood Moon is pretty nice. You can also bring in the Haywire Mite. I think it's probably fine not to. I think I'll bring it in. It's got Scrying number 4. How worse is it got the second on Monday? Yeah, I don't know. I think I started rambling about like the whole banlist thing, and then we'll stop talking about it. I kind of don't think that much will happen. If anything, I don't think anything will get banned in Modern on Monday. I think that I feel like there's a pretty reasonable chance they unban some stuff. I think that, I think they should unban Bridge from Below. I think Bridge from Below should have never been banned in the first place, and I will always advocate for Bridge's freedom. It just never should have been banned in the first place, and it's kind of a card that people hate, but it really just shouldn't have gone, in my opinion. Also, another Natty Tron is nice. We can, I think I'm gonna save the Star, so I'm not getting discarded super hard. But I could also grab a Boseiju now. So yeah, Bridge from Below would be like kind of a fun unban too, and also like, another thing too is like Bridge like is so bad against the Evoke incarnations though, like it's like I think it would also be like bad for what it's worth. It's never like a great argument for unbanning something that it would just be terrible, because then like what's the point? I don't know. But Bridge should be freed. I also think like Twin should be freed at this point, although Twin with the ring sounds pretty good. Exarch untapping the ring sounds pretty fun. But I'm also just going to be like incredibly annoyed if they unban Twin while I'm on vacation. I've just been waiting for, I feel like years at this point for them to unban Twin, and if they do it while I'm on vacation, it's going to be so annoying. I hope for Faithless Looting. If they unban Faithless Looting, I think maybe with Bowmasters now it's not the case, but it's still pretty close to like to being like immediately the best card in Modern. If you were to, let's just get a bridge here. If you were to unban Looting, I think it would probably still be the best card in the format if you unbanned it right now. which is just like, just a mistake, I think. But it's fine to disagree. I know people love Faithless Looting. Ben, think of it 12 months. Happy anniversary, dude. Hope to see you soon. How was the IRL Magic event with Harry? It was fun. I didn't play, but we just kind of hung out and did some YouTube stuff, and we created some content. Wow. Ooh, speaking of wow, it's a pretty good draw. Okay, so I can cast this. I was hoping to see an artifact on top to pitch to Semblance Anvil that I get off the Karn. I guess I can look for an artifact by tapping. So we can just cast the Stirrings. Okay, just gonna grab a Chromatic Star, play a Power Plants, cast Semblance Anvil, pass to you. Is not Twin will make creativity not playable. I mean, the thing is, creativity is better than Twin. Like, this is like the biggest argument, and maybe some dynamics in Modern have changed recently. But creativity is a one-card combo that is harder to interact with than Twin. Maybe it doesn't end the game on the spot, but just putting Dwarven Mine in your deck means that your combo is literally one card. It's literally just creativity, and one removal spell doesn't break it up because you can just target 2 dwarves or 3 dwarves or 2 dwarves and a treasure. It's like, it's truly ridiculous. I'm even like kind of surprised we're still talking about it. But yeah, Twin, like, creativity is like much better than Twin, and so it's like, I'm still committed to the 24-hour Splinter Twin stream when and if it ever gets unbanned, but I'm also still like pretty convinced that it would be like not, like, it would not be better than creativity in my opinion. But boy, would we all play it, huh? Oh, 0 mana ring. It's nice. Pod? I mean, I think Pod is probably okay. After this weekend, or after the PT weekend, maybe buffing Yawgmoth sounds like a good idea, huh? But ultimately, it's not something. I think with Yawgmoth in the format, it's kind of asking for it's asking for more trouble than Twin is, for whatever that's worth. Because it would be like a pretty significant upgrade to Yawg. But it is definitely true that the downside of paying life is pretty real when it comes to Birthing Pod and Yawg. Like, if you're paying 4 life to play and activate it, like it is like a lot of the times worse than Eldritch Evolution because it costs like an extra mana and it costs you the life. So it would I would be like tentatively okay with a Pod unban, but like I did play test it like a year ago and it seemed okay. I'm not okay with turn 1 bird, turn 2 Pod, untap win. Like, but like, when are you untapping? What, like, this is like what Modern has hit the point. Turn 1 bird, cast Pod, untap. This is like magical Christmas land. This is magical Christmas land to like think that this is going to happen very often. Then you play a mana dork, you untap with it, then you play a Pod, then you untap with like, you still have your creature in play after that, and they didn't play Karn, or they didn't Force of Negation, or they didn't Fury, they didn't Grieve, they didn't. I think I'm okay with it. Although maybe Delighted Halfling kind of changes this dynamic a little bit, huh? Opponent, can you concede? I guess I can actually kill them faster, huh? If I just go Blast Zone, kill their 1-drops, play second Karn, get can Aetherflux Reservoir. Pray for Opal. There's no way they unban Opal. As long as Urza Saga is legal, there's no chance. Yeah, but maybe just have the kill like after. Probably cost me 2 spells to win. Oh, whoops! Forgot to cast my Reservoir first. It's okay. We're chilling. Do need to make sure I don't like randomly die to Bolt, I guess. Okay, don't die to Bolts. Pay 50 life, do 50 damage. Fun. Okay, so we're gonna bring in 2 Caverns. They cut a Blast Zone. I cut a Forest. I brought in the second Boseiju. Let's just cut a Forest, it's fine. It's like they have their own Boseijus. Could they touch Skull Clamp? I've never really played with Skull Clamp in a constructed format. Everybody who brings up that Skull Clamp could maybe be unbanned, they always talk like that's crazy talk, and it probably is crazy talk, but I don't know. I've never really played with the card. I think it's probably too dangerous. Pink Roger, 14 months, thank you. Yeah, Pithing Needle off Saga. I think Birthing Pod would not likely be too crazy, but it's a pretty risky card to unban. We have a 7-card Caverns hand. Let's keep. Yeah, Skull Clamp with Bowmaster would be good, but Bowmaster is also good against Skull Clamp, so I don't know. Bowmaster continues to just be good with and against itself. Yeah, yes, getting Clamp off Urza Saga is probably the biggest thing to just to nope out of. Okay, so they probably get to take 2 of my cards here. KCI in this deck. I mean, so there's definitely 5-6 cards that should probably just not be unbanned because they make Magic worse. They make if a card being the 3rd Caverns is such an awkward draw. I guess sometimes you draw the 3rd when you play 3. But it's can we just not have cards that lead to 20-minute turns, or maybe we still have some now, but KCI, Glimpse of Nature, Second Sunrise are all cards that just lead to infinitely long turns, and in a way that I think is pretty negative. Pretty close to comboing off, actually. I guess we need another artifact and another Retriever or an Anvil. We could also imprint Jegantha to Semblance Anvil. Where in the world? I'm in Rome. I am across the street from the Vatican, even. Yeah, top. Yeah, I mean, top is one of those cards where yes, it's pretty busted, but also since he's dividing top is so since he's dividing top is banned for logistical reasons, it's also insanely good with counterbalance. It's power level banned because of counterbalance too, I would think. Okay, so I have another Thoughtseize. And a Ragavan. Pretty good draw from them. Taking 5. Oh, well, I missed their attack step. That makes things easier, huh? Now, what are we doing? Can take a ring. Taking a ring seems fine. Bowmasters is a bit of a problem. I'm going to take 7 down to 9. Then I'm going to play the ring, tap the ring, not take any damage. Go down to 8 after the draw trigger, then down to 7. And die again if I find nothing. Alternatively, I can just play Myr Retriever, block Ragavan, let it trade, take 5 down to 11, and pick up like a Mystic Forge or another Retriever. Yeah, let's just take a Myr Retriever. Got no cards in their hand either. Is Ledger Shredder obsolete now over Bowmaster just infringing on his presence? I mean, it's gotten a lot worse. Obsolete would be hyperbolic, but I am definitely not looking to play it at the moment. Do you think Scam needs to be taken down a peg, restrict the number of dying effects? That's not it. Like, there's too many of these kind of cards. That's like the like vintage like banned Mishra's Workshop payoffs instead of just the workshop strat, which doesn't make a lot of sense in this format probably. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the Forge. So I don't want to tap the Forge if I can help it, because then I'm gonna just die in 2 turns instead of 3. I'm saying something. I was actually thinking, like, if they were gonna ban something, if they were gonna ban a card in Modern, if I had to ban a card in Modern, I would ban Grief. It's kind of like a hot statement, maybe, but there's sure like a lot of bullshit Grief games, I guess. I don't know. How many Myr Retrievers? This is my 4th Myr Retriever. It's kind of a problem if I don't get back Myr Retriever with this. Like, it's gonna be very difficult to loop anything. But I also really need to get back this Semblance Anvil. Not really sure. Let's just pass for now. And like removing Grief from Living End sounds like it would really make the format a lot better. And like when you have Grief Undying Malice on the in Scam, like your win percentage is like 75% or something crazy. It's like the best thing you can do, which is, I don't know, you know, it's probably like a band philosophy kind of thing rather than yeah, let's go ahead and pick up the Anvil, which we kind of need to go through our deck a little bit, and things will be difficult next turn, but I think that it's fine to go to 1 also. Probably gonna lose. Would anyone argue that the incarnation spells make the format more fun? I mean, I would argue that. I think that without the incarnations, you would have Titan, Hammer Time, Yawgmoth, there's etc. is probably fine to say, but I think that like those decks would be incredibly dominant without the incarnations. You know, for the longest time, like pre-Modern Horizons 1, Modern was a format that was incredibly linear. It was a lot of like ships passing in the night, 2 decks just kind of solitaring, some like small amounts of interaction sometimes, but it was, you know, it was just not a particularly interactive format. And I think like without the incarnations, like it would things would be pretty similar to that. And some people like it, some people do prefer. Maybe I'm just supposed to start fair milling my opponent. I think I'm gonna start. Because I think that's probably how we have to win this game. But for me, I do like, I think that the incarnations like minus grief make modern a bit better. I think that grief is probably the one that for me makes it like a degree worse or whatever. Okay, so I think I'm gonna respond to this. Know my opponent, let the untap happen. And then casting this is nice if my top card, if I can draw an artifact to imprint, which I don't. Okay, so I guess I draw my card before the imprint resolves. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna sack the anvil, know myself. Where am I? I'm in Rome right now. Yeah, I think grief specifically for me leads to the most like uninteresting like bad games of Modern at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna sack this here. I think we can nail them out. I think we're gonna get them. It's gonna be close. But with 3 Chromatic Stars to like reset the top of our library, I'm feeling okay about our spot. Just have to make sure to think about every decision here. I have to mill them many more times. Yeah, maybe it's a little ambitious to think we're getting them here. But we also can't win any other way. Oh, fuck the Bowmasters. I've just been dead to the Bowmasters this whole time and forgot. Damn it, okay. Oh, Hammer lately, it's so bad against the ring. It's just so hard to win if they resolve it. Kind of the same thing with creativity. Oh wait, turn 3 Tron. This build is like wanting to mulligan pretty aggressively to turn 3 Tron, but you also just kind of, you have it a lot. Yeah, I did a YouTube video talking about the PT experience on stream, then uploaded it to YouTube, so you can check that out if you're interested. Oh, wow, don't even need the tutor. Hey Freya, thanks for the 37. Cycles lore revealed. How's Rome? It's cool. I haven't, really seen much of it. On these like kind of travel days where we get up early and fly, we like take a nap and then get lunch, and then it's been like a good time to like just stream. Esther's asleep right now. What cards are cut for maps? I mean, this build has been playing maps for a long time. Maybe you mean the scryings. I ended up cutting the. I can't remember. Again, I forgot the name of the card. The Ichor Wellsprings, and then we had a couple of flex spots in like the chalices. Big Boss Pizza Sauce, 3 months, good username. I've forgotten about with Mingu. No, Mingu's on a different Italian vacation at the moment. So my opponent has revealed Katria Triome, and then they're also a Godless Shrine Orcish Bowmaster deck. Modern is truly all over the place at the moment. What day of the week is it? Today's Saturday? Whoa, wait, holy shit, today's Saturday. I totally thought it was a weekday today. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have time to play the Modern Challenge or anything. I did kind of totally think I was just doing like my normal like weekday stream today. It's funny. Time is all over the place. I'm having a very good time on vacation and everything. I'm obviously like very happy and thankful to be here. But also, like, there's a big part of me that's going to be excited to get back into the groove of things. I was obviously like, I love what I do, and my life is sick, and I like the structure too. I've also been gone for like 2 weeks, a long time. Yeah, there may be some kind of reanimator variant. Kind of hard to guess. Fighting Kid, Tim, thank you for the 3 months. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, Force Exiling, that's kind of tough. Fine though. My reels could have been off today. No, I mean I want to be on today. Like today's like really the only time that's been like super convenient lately. I'd probably just take one. Like I think there's a good chance I only have time to do like I would guess we have time for one more hotel stream during this vacation, and then I'll just be back in a week, back to the usual schedule. And like I think there's a good chance, like despite the internet is very good in this hotel room. I've been so happy with the internet here, but there's a good chance that I just don't have time while I'm here in Rome. I want to see some stuff. I want to, be actually vacationing, and then there's a good chance that like the internet in Venice on our like travel day is just going to be too bad. So. We'll see. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be enjoying it. This is only the second stream I've done while I've been out here, and I've only been doing it on days where it's like super convenient. If it wasn't, convenient like this, I wouldn't be. So I guess I'm supposed to go cast Grinding Station. You want food effects for Rome? I have gotten food recs for Rome. We went to like a place that just like a random restaurant on the street that was pretty close for lunch, and it was like incredible. It was just everything. It was very good so far. Okay, so yeah, if this resolves, I'm gonna sack my Myr Retriever. I'd probably just know my opponent for brevity's sake, and then I can pick up an expedition map to imprint, and now I can try to combo kill here. Any more testing of the Nazgul Boromir deck? I don't know. Like I like haven't really been. So like this is a deck that I had like before the PT, kept kind of secret. This was like this was my deck that I had 4-0 dropped a couple times with off stream, and I wanted to show off the idea here. And like this is also a deck we've been working on all year basically, and this is the best version of it. Like with the Scryings, like I can't believe I just haven't played Scrying in the deck before, but being like all in on the Tron plan has been so good. So, I have some content for this. I have like a couple other decks we could like play and try out, but for the most part, I like haven't been doing new stuff. So, I'm kind of thinking like on the flight home, maybe I can try to do some new stuff, but maybe also maybe it will just take me some time to get back into the groove of things. Okay, so we have a Boseiju for the binding, but we don't currently have any green mana. Yeah, I agree that this deck would have been a really good choice for the PT. Thinking about it a bit more today, I kind of feel like I wish this is what I played. Yeah, we're 1-1. I'm kind of I guess I don't know where the record thing is. I'm in the hotel room, so my setup is pretty primitive. Okay, pass back. Now the PT is gone, have I given any thoughts of playing Legacy Pioneer for a day on stream, or is it too annoying to play other formats? I mean, when I was preparing for the RC, I did play a lot of Pioneer on stream, and it was okay. I think there's a good chance, like with the new set that comes out, we'll do some Pioneer brewing. I'll do it if I want to, but it's also like every time I start to play other formats, it usually is like a lot of extra work for like less views. It's like a lot of like extra time brewing, learning, trying new stuff just for just for those streams to like still be less popular. So it's still something I do if I want to, but it's also like I think I will never be like, all right, chat, today is scheduled Legacy Day. It's scheduled Pioneer Day. We play Pioneer on Tuesdays. I just think it's way better to just play the format I'm interested in on whatever day. Okay, so let's tap my Mystic Forge first. If you can find a chromatic effect to filter for green, that would be a pretty big deal. We don't find that. I can Myr Retriever. Yeah, I guess Myr Retriever to get back the Chromatic Star is fine. And I can Boseiju the binding. I was mainly hoping for Legacy, go back to your old days. I don't know, it's like, all the chatters want, you know, their favorite pet thing to be played, and I get it or whatever, but the stream can only be, like, successful, I think, if I continue to do what I am interested in. There's too much demand, there's too much, you know, noise like this to, like, really think otherwise. And like, just I think as long as I can like share my ideas and my passions and my interests, then I'll be okay. Is this favor against Scam? No, that's kind of why I didn't play it. Although, you know, I think the last match showed that it's really just not that bad. Like my opponent had like last game like Ragavan into Voidwalker, and they like stole my card, and they griefed me, and they fabled, and we were still like ahead, but then they top decked like Grief into Voidwalker. I think we could probably have beaten either of those cards still, but not both. And then we won game 2, and then we lost a close game 3. It's just, you know, it's not that bad. But it ain't that good either. You know, this is not like the deck I'm going to recommend if you're having a hard time against Scam at FNM or whatever. Let's mill over that, I think. Can be kind of risky in some spots. Like my opponent has a Bowmaster in play. We could like randomly die. We could mill over like all of our Karns on accident. Maybe good to draw that Ancient Stirrings. I don't already have a Stirrings in our hand, but not unlikely like situation where we like filter for another color. We have to remember that Bowmasters is like close to killing us. Sometimes you die though. Yeah, if they have like a counter spell, things could get scary. Okay, so Ring is going to protect me if they don't have a counter spell. Notably, this may look like we have the infinite loop here, but my opponent has protection from everything at the moment. We can beat protection from everything via Karn for Aetherflux Reservoir. We just have to find the Karn. So let's find the Karn, huh? I do like that. I'm gonna cast the Semblance Anvil. This is gonna allow my Ring and Mystic Forges to be. I believe I have not played my land yet for turn, so I think I can go Exile Forge to Anvil, play mine, cast Karn, and then I can get a 0 mana Aetherflux Reservoir, get to a ridiculously high life total, and I can get to the point where I can just like activate a million times in their upkeep if I want. If they counter this Aetherflux Reservoir somehow, and they've been like sandbagging good beats, but we probably can still win the game anyways. We could even have, it had to be like Force of Negation too, because we could get it back with Myr Retriever here. So we have protection from everything. Just gonna cast this second Mystic Forge. We could loop Myr Retriever for a billion spells. Okay, and they just concede, thankfully. So I'm going to draw for game 2 against some weird domain deck. I'm going to cut by Blaststone for my 3rd Gemstone Caverns and click submit. Kamal, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you. If it's forced to get back from exile another Karn. Well, we can't cast another Karn this turn because we can only our artifacts are discounted by 4. We'd have to draw the other 2 Karns. We don't have enough anvils to like anvil both Karns, but it seems like we'll be fine no matter what. How much have I enjoyed being the American tourist in Europe? I mean, just like most things in life, if you don't take yourself too seriously, it's a lot of fun. Having a really good time. It's also been nice that like in Spain and London, we had friends who were able to show us around a little bit, and we're able to be with groups of people. In Italy, it's just gonna be me and Esther though, and we'll be, I think, extra touristy here. Can we activate the grinding station if both players cast ring? Oh, I guess we couldn't, huh? I guess we couldn't. It still wouldn't have been that hard to get up to enough spells. Like we're going to cast the stirrings, and hitting anything gets me up to above 50 life. But yeah, that is true. We actually couldn't activate the station there. It's a bit of a mistake, huh? It's probably the Esperless from the PT, the Mirror Splash Teferi and Leyline. I see. Yeah, I did not like that deck very much, for whatever that's worth. Okay, definitely keeping this. I think I'm just gonna dump the Anvil to the Caverns. Meet up with Mingu in Italy. Mingu's on his like own like vacation to some beautiful islands. I don't even know where. But I also get to hang out with Mingu like a lot in Barcelona too, and like I remember last year when Andrea stayed with me, I was like, wow, man, this was awesome. I loved getting to hang out with Andrea. It feels bad I probably won't see him for a really long time, but I hung out with him twice this year. It's been pretty cool. Yeah, it's been very nice being able to walk to everything. London specifically was like a really, really lovely town. Just being able to walk everywhere and see all the sights was it felt like just being a big college campus basically. Just go walk everywhere you want to. Okay, I guess we take Expedition Map over Second Tower. Hopefully just draw a minor power plant for turn or another map. Is the idea to get really high life and then blast for 50 in the next upkeep? Yeah, I think in theory, like, you know, it's not that hard to even get up to like 150 life or something and activate 3 times if you would need to, but there's also not really anything they can have to beat the 50 life. Yeah, like with Harry. Yeah, me and Harry actually, we ended up hanging out like the whole time. I was in London. Yeah, he hung out with us all 3 days and showed us around, and he had some pints, and we went to museums. It was awesome. It was really cool. We did like a little event at a magic shop in London, which was fun. Had some spikelings. There's an urban theorist that people in America have better views of colleges because it's the only time they experience a walkable city. Yeah, that definitely, I think, describes my why I felt like London was a big college campus. Because, oh man, we were just playing Tron today, huh? All right, so I think we bait Counterspell with Karn, mostly because Karn is a little bit worse without any extra mana as the follow-up. What was the secret deck you 4 dropped with? Was it Yogg? I mean, I did it with a few decks. I think I also did with Yogg. The one I tweeted about was this deck, though. It was this deck, Anvil Tron with Sylvan Scrying. This has been a deck I was very hyped about, a deck that I, at one point, was my front runner for the PT, and I actually feel like it would have been a better choice than Yawgmoth. Maybe it would have been the best choice for what I had played. They have their own ring, but they are super behind at the moment. I commuted to college. Yeah, my like last year of college I actually also commuted, but those first couple years were something else. We got our engine going. Gonna be very hard for my opponent to win, especially because their ring is currently turned off, and they just pack it up, and we're 2-1. Lost a close match to Rakdos. Very bad news for Yawgmoth. It was okay, I don't know. But it was just that the deck wasn't very well positioned more than anything else. I'm able to keep this. I think like any green source makes this hand good, and any land also, like we get to play turn 3 Anvil. Kind of a weird hand, but I think you just kind of keep these. Do you think teams don't focus enough on ideas and brews and prep for a big tournament? It feels like meta decks are taking a gospel a lot of time. I mean, maybe, like, there was definitely, I think, a resistance to, like, working on brews on the team a little bit, or maybe more so, we had like a lot of players that were kind of working on their own brews and like posting their finding, and like we would test them externally a little bit, but it was also kind of clear that nobody had like broken it with any of their brews. Isn't Yawgmoth favored versus Tron? Why is that? No, Yawgmoth, I mean, our build of Yawgmoth was definitely not favored against it, like being slower with rings and stuff, but I don't think normal Yawgmoth is also favored. I think you're really weak to their sweepers, or really weak to like Karn on Needle. Like Karn on Needle into sweeper is just game over, and like, you know, I would think that in our testing and my experience, it's a pretty bad matchup. Turn 1 Urza Saga. You can see that a ton these days. Guess I'll just run out of Myr Retriever. Hoping to draw any land, any source of green mana. Samwise Lotus decks I'm pumping up. I mean, they look like very fun and very bad, I guess. Just saying I felt Mill was indeed the choice. I tested Mill on stream, off stream, internally. It had like an abysmal win rate. It was, the win rate with it like overall was so low. Despite like, you know, there was certainly some degree of like this attitude, Mill secretly broken or whatever, but it was like really bad in testing. Did LSV try to talk into the Samwise deck? LSV was committed to Yawgmoth the entire testing portion until the very last day, where he switched to Sam at the last minute. That being said, got a hammer, right? Okay. That being said, like the dynamic was really that like a lot of people had decks that they liked, and not a lot of people had decks that they loved, including Sam Pardee, who was like the main champion of the Samwise combo deck. He liked it the whole time, and he's like, oh, I'm not really trying to convince anybody, but I like the deck a lot, and he did well with it, and Luis didn't do that well with it, but Luis like like it was the night before Decklist submission. He's like, I'm also gonna play the Yawglist, and then he just pivoted the Sam at the last second. But there was a lot of like pivoting last second from people too. I promise I was kidding about Mill. I mean, I also at like one point had the attitude that Mill was like maybe secretly the best choice. It wasn't a deck I had played a lot of, and it probably wasn't a deck I was playing like particularly well in my testing or whatever, but I wasn't the only one that tested it, and it had like it had like one of our worst win rates overall. How does Mill beat turn 1 Scam Fury? I mean, like Crab into Drown maybe. It's tough. Was Gab committed to living in the whole time? No, he wasn't. It was also like a relatively late minute decision. But again, it was just a very tough. It was a very tough tournament to prepare for. There's so many choices that felt fine, and there's so many choices that were like, you know, felt fine, felt like reasonable, okay-ish choices, and there's just like almost nothing that felt like it was where we needed to be. Opponent's playing around Dismember, but I revealed Jegantha, so they didn't need to here. Any consideration for Grazer version of Yogg? Yeah, we tried the Grazer versions of Yogg. They didn't end up like performing particularly well in testing or anything. We tried them. What do you think the Lantern could... I saw that Canister was playing a Lantern deck. Again, I've been on like vacation and I haven't really been following things super closely, so I don't really know. Oh, we just went. Awesome. Don't really know what that's all about, I guess. Oops, I win. Hear me out, Orcus Bowmaster, Burning Inquiry. Okay, I mean, I've been gone for a long time, but boy, I've heard so many, like, swag. I cracked the code. Bowmaster plus Burning Inquiry. Now, you just build the rest of the deck, please. I'm just gonna cut both forests. I don't know. It's been done, and it doesn't look that good. It's very, very mediocre, I think. We're probably gonna bring in the Mite also. We're scrying number 4. But it does sound fun. What do you think of all this indecisiveness? Is that the usual result of having too wide a format? Kind of, I guess. Like, it was a very hard tournament to. I think this PT was a particularly hard like environment to prepare for a variety of reasons. One being that the format is like relatively balanced, and it was hard to get like a significant edge, and we just didn't have a significant edge with like almost anything, and also like the team was certainly like split on the decks they thought were good, which made like honing in more difficult. So for now, I'll put out a video with Diamond Lion, Echo, Burning Inquiry, Bowmasters. I mean, it sounds like the burnt taco list from like a month ago or something. How is Ring balanced? I mean, that's like always the dynamic of Modern. There's like a ton of broken cards, and they all just kind of like balance each other out. It's been the dynamic here for a long time, I think. This hands, I think we can keep on the draw against Hammer. It's close, but we're pretty close to comboing. We have a blocker, maybe we have a Boseiju. Terrific for the tier 1, thank you. Ooh, crazy start if they have a Sigarda's Aid. Surprised to see very little 4-color doing well. Do you think people didn't prepare for it? I remember the challenges were doing great. Yeah, I mean, we got second in like one of those early challenges with 4-color, and it was certainly a deck. I think I'll play the map on turn 1. Certainly a deck. Oh man, what a start. Iconic turn 3 kill. I liked the deck, and I had like a techie build with Lord, Revealed, and Force of Negation that I liked, and I had a very difficult time hammering out like the 75 that I thought was where it needed to be. Okay, we are just dead to the Ink Moth. I'm just gonna give him 3. 4-color is a bad matchup against Tron and Scam. Yeah, the 4-color matchup I think is not I don't know if it's bad against Scam. That was something that like was very swingy in our like testing and experience. I think it's very close, but yeah, it's not particularly good. But I'm moving forth Scrying over the Gemstone Caverns, just go down to 17 lands. Yeah, I would say 4 color is good against Scam. I think the matchup is very close, and I think that Scam players think they're favored against 4 color, and I think 4 color players think they're favored against Scam. I played a lot of both sides of the matchup, and I think effectively it was both. Could a Retriever chump or they have Hammer in hand? They activate Inkmoth Nexus, they give it flying as a creature. They put the Hammer on the Nexus, then they give it flying again, and then the Retriever cannot chump. Let's go to 5. Going to 4. I play 4 color, you think you're favored? Yeah, exactly. The 4 color players think they're favored, the Scam players think that they're favored, but the reality is it's just close. It's just like an incredibly close matchup. And both players can also have tech that makes it like better for them. Okay, so this is my mold of 4. I guess my 4 cards are these 4, and I'm not very happy about it. Was it my first time on the team? Yeah, it was. My first time working with any team for a Pro Tour. It's been a while since I qualified for one. The experience was awesome. It was like truly priceless just getting to hang out at the testing house. It's always been an experience that I've wanted to be a part of, and I was very lucky to get to do it. It was cool. I would not have traded it for... There's probably some things I'd traded for. Rule has redeemed, become a VIP or mod. I will try to do that for my phone. Which will it be? VIP or mod? Ooh. I mean, if we can just hit a Tron piece here, a mine or a power plant, we're in good shape. There we go. Maybe good shape is a little... Yeah, we're in good shape. We're in great shape. Okay, I'm going to try to do this for my phone. VIP. R. EULUE 8. Cool, it worked. Yeah, I didn't know if you do it from... Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, we're 2-1 this league. We lost a close one to Scam. Then we beat like 4-color Esper deck, and then we beat Creativity 2-0. Now we're in game 3 against Hammer. We mulled to 4, they mulled to 5. Kind of a classic dynamic. Well, we're gonna give it some tension and draw the mine next turn, I guess. Panda with a 38, thank you. Spike Perma moving to Barcelona, that'd be nice. It's pretty hot there though. It's actually, the weather's pretty good in Rome today. When we were planning the trip, it was gonna be like 100 degrees Fahrenheit here. It
95.
No, okay, it was 100 for sure, but it's much cooler than we expected. It's like 85, or like it's like 70. It's colder than that today, but tomorrow it'll be a little bit warmer.
The only country that was actually getting up to 100 during the heat wave was Greece.
Yeah, Esther asleep, wake up to just to disagree.
What?
Another Sentinel. Okay. We have Tron online. Wow, we actually have Tron online. Okay, so I have 6 mana. I would really like to cast the Scrying this turn if possible, but I think it's just too bad to give them any extra cards here. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be back home in a week. This is, I probably have 1, maybe 2 more Helltop Room streams in me, and then we'll be vacation mode and then back to normal. Finding another Tron piece would also be nice to get that extra mana. Tower is the best of them, of course. Could be good to just play another ring. So I have 10 mana, so I could go Karn for Anvil. I think what I'll do is play a Chromatic Sphere, pay for both Sentinels, and then Sylvan Scrying for Blast Zone, and then play another ring. But maybe it's better to play the other ring first, just so that if they have like Mana Tithe ×2 or something, which it seems less than likely. What did I draft? How'd that part go? I went over. I did a YouTube video talking about it. I tweeted about it. I went over it in pretty good detail. Check it out on YouTube. I think there's a pinned link to that too. Wow, they just like immediately cast the Sentinel, knowing that I had Blast Zone. But Surge of Salvation doesn't stop Blast Zone, so should feel pretty safe to just play this Poppet. Kind of missing one more mana to like Stonebrain Hammer would be really nice. I think I just have to Needle, Inkmoth Nexus. Yeah, I know the sound is not super ideal. I've got like a little pinned on mic that I've been using. It's been like okay, but I'm definitely excited to kind of get back into the swing of things. Who's my favorite opponent to play against? I mean, play against the Pro Tour champion, Jake Beardsley. That was pretty cool. Okay, should be relatively able to go for the kill here. Cool game to win, mold of 4, get your Pithing Expedition map, Pithing Needle. Obviously their draw was not particularly good. Just a Esper Sentinel Tribal over there. Oh, whoops, I meant to cast this card. That's okay. I think I can just Stonebrain the hammers. But I did mean to cast this card and actually keep the ball rolling a little bit. They may concede to this though. Okay. Spoke a little soon. So I'm still like very unlikely to die. I guess I should probably like try to have Boseiju up by finding a chromatic effect. So I could like mill this, tap my Mystic Forge, just kind of do my due diligence to try to not be dead to perfect. So there we go. And now we can just hold the Boseiju up and still not really be dead too much.
Still have one more match, right?
Yeah, still have one more.
Okay.
Although, like, I don't know, I've been going for like 2 hours, maybe just play 4 matches. It's like maybe about that time.
I'm gonna go ask the reception about laundry and whatnot.
Okay. Sigarda's Aid. So if their hand is Sigarda's Aid, Hammer, and then another Surge of Salvation, I'm still not dead. Oh, no, I am dead. Sorry, I am, right? My ring has 3 counters. No, I am dead.
Have the key card, or you want to just let me in?
I can just let you back in. Wow, that was their 3-card hand. Welcome back to the world of streaming. Well, so, I mean, what was I supposed to do instead? I guess I was supposed to just get another ring, though. If I just get another ring, I'm like just very insulated from everything. Yeah. Sack the ring. Oh, right. Right. I'm not dead. Right. Thanks, chat. Malamute Man with the 5-pack. Got to get this for Mastery. Make sure to thank Malamute. Make sure to thank him. Oh, that was almost so embarrassing. Definitely a vacation punt. Alright, it should be good to go though. We just exile here. We really want spells, of course. So we're gonna be kind of like hesitant to use our draw and not hit a spell if possible. But yeah, if we're like sacking this to hit like a Stirring, it's obviously so much better. Definitely get Myr Retriever. I think I just have another Myr Retriever in the yard somewhere. Oh, do I really not? I guess I don't. Hold on. Esther back in. No.
Oh, you're scared.
Yeah, sorry. I know the sound obviously not super ideal. Oh, I didn't mean to draw. I guess it's fine. I will not imprint anything. Just keep the other anvil as a second spell, though. Oh, wait. Now I pro everything. Sorry, I know this is like the messiest game I've ever played. Definitely vacation mode this match. It's also kind of okay. I have protection from everything. We're going to a nice and cozy 36. They get to kill my Karn. And then we should be able to kill them next match. Yeah, just concede. Pretty messy. It's maybe just like a good stopping point. If we have like another like hour-long match, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's like 6 p.m. I kind of need to get back into the swing of things. Yeah, it's like a fine 2 hours in the hotel room. Just want to get some momentum. Mostly just kind of sit and play some Magic and chat for a bit. Again, this is probably like, assuming that like somehow PT submission was like right now, this is probably what I would have submitted, but maybe fine to leave the tournament in the past. I really liked it. I wish I had bested with it more. This was at one point it was my front runner. I was really liking this build. I still am really liking this build. I would recommend it to you at the moment. I think that this plan of just like play the Scryings, mulligan very aggressively for Tron has been the best plan I've ever had with this deck.